Alright guys, so for this look, pretty much we're gonna do very smoky. So it's gonna be a very going out to like, I'm gonna go with the time of year, going out to like Christmas parties, and if you were gonna go and see like a ballet and stuff like that. So this look is gonna be more nighttime. Now I'm gonna do a full face, not gonna be just the eyes, so I'm gonna show you how you can kind of contour catering at nighttime versus daytime as well too. But that'll be in another video. But for this one, it's gonna be more smoky nighttime. So we're gonna do like browns and blacks and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get the tutorial started. Alright, so first things first, for me, obviously, I definitely want to shave, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Even though you can't really see any of the hair on my face, I do have a little bit. It's not extensive, but it's there. So I'm going to go shave, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now that I've shaved, I'm going to go ahead and use a moisturizer before I use my primer. What I've been using during the winter, I needed something a little more hydrating. So I've been using the Bare Minerals Advanced Protection SPF. This is for combination skin. Now I've realized that in the winter my skin gets more normal, but this definitely works really well. So I only use a pump, so I use that much for my entire face. So for my face primer, I've been recently using the Makeup Forever HD primer. This is in number 0, so this is the original. It doesn't have any color to it whatsoever. I like this a lot because it's not silicone based, so it doesn't have that almost oily feel to it. A lot of silicone based primers, yeah, they feel like velvet, but it just feels like oil to me personally. So I don't use really anything that has silicone in it unless I'm doing drag, because then I really want it to lock in and hold onto my product I put on top of it. So I just use that primer. So now what I'm going to use is something a little more lightweight. I haven't really been wearing very heavy coverage when it comes to liquid foundation. I've been doing multiple foundations recently. So I'm going to use the Hello Flawless. This is by Benefit. This is a mini size, obviously. This is the lightest shade in Ivory. Now, it's not really light, but it works for me right now. I'm going to use 2 pumps on the back of my hand for my entire face. Now, looking at that, it looks light on camera, but it's not very light at all. It's almost like I don't want to say peachy color, but it has a peach undertone to it. So we're just going to apply this all over. Now I'm using an older Sephora HD airbrush foundation brush. I really like this brush, and I'm going to be sad when I have to get rid of it, but that's not going to be for a while. Anyway, so I'm pretty much just buffing it into my skin. I've gotten into the habit when I first put foundation on to press it on and then buff it in. That would be something if I was using that had a little more coverage to it. But this is really lightweight. If you've ever used the Hello Flawless before, it's almost like a tinted moisturizer. It's almost like an illuminating tinted moisturizer. There's not a whole lot of coverage to it. It just evens everything out, which is nice, especially for the winter. You definitely don't want to overdo it. If you're doing a really smoky eye, last thing you want to do is cake on the foundation. Unless I was going to work. If I was going to work, then, I really wouldn't care, and I'd use something with a little heavier coverage. But I really like this because it's really light, and it definitely really blends in with my current complexion tone, which has been really hard for me to face because I'm white. Like, I really am. I'm really pale right now. That's not something that I usually am or have been for a very long time, so it's fairly new to me. So yeah. Foundation is on. So here's with the Hella Flawless on. As you can see, it's very white. Very, very white. So what I do is now I'm going to take the Bare Minerals. I'm going to take their new compact. I've been obsessed with this stuff. Like, ridiculous. Before I got too light, I was using this as my foundation, only this. Loved it. Looks fantastic in pictures. There was no flashback. And it has that kind of luminesque finish to it, so it looks like your natural skin. And the brush I'm going to be using, we currently have at Sephora. It is the number 55 Pro Airbrush. Now, I use this for my compact just because I feel like it works the best. Now, if you look, that is darker, more, again, peachy, like pink undertones. So this is going to kind of help give a natural glow to my face without looking like I'm putting tons of foundation on. So I literally just dip my brush in there and that's enough product. So I'll do one half and you could see what it looks like. So here it is. I did this side. So as you look, this side looks much more natural. This is just really, really white. There's not a whole lot of coverage or anything to it. And especially the color. The color is just really, really light. Now I do go back in with a bronzer after I do this, and that's when I usually start to actually like define and everything. I just like using this as like a nice base color to warm up my face before I use the bronzer for like the contouring and the highlighting and stuff like that. Alrighty, so here is with my foundation on, just the foundation. So we did the moisturizer, the primer, the Benefit, and then the Bare Minerals. So now we're going to start on the eyes before we go into the rest of the contouring. Don't ask me why I do it in this order. I don't know why. This is just like how I've gotten stuck on it. So that's the way it is. So before anything, we're going to prime, obviously. And what I've been using recently is the Buxom primer. I was using the Sephora collection, the older primer. As you can see, it's like gone. We discontinued it in the stores. We have it online. It's like in the clearance section, so it's probably there for like another 2 or 3 weeks. But I'm actually allergic to that primer. My eyes water like a lot. So this, my eyes don't water with, and I like this because it's in a stick form. So I can just go straight onto my eye. So I'm using the Tarte Lash Curler. I love this thing because it's got the little paddles instead of like wrapping my fingers around it and have it stuck in a death trap. Now, especially if you're doing a smoky look, you definitely want to make sure that you are curling your lashes so that when you put the mascara on, it doesn't look like you don't have a whole lot there, if that makes any sense. So what we're going to use today for our smoky look, we're going to use the Sephora Pantone Universal. Excuse me. It is their spring palette. Now I think we just got rid of this. I bought like 4. But very pigmented. I love the colors in here. I've been using it for a couple weeks. But here it is. So that's all the colors in there. Big mirror. I love this. So we're going to use the browns over here. So this entire row we're going to be using for the smoky look. So we're going to start off with the lightest color up over here, which has a number, and it's 11-0907. That's really memorable, isn't it? Memorable. Whatever. So we're going to use that all over the lid. And I'm just going to use a domed flat shadow brush. So this is from Sigma. It's the E55 eye shading brush. So we're going to go in with that light color and go all over the entire lid, all the way up to the brow bone. So this is going to act as a inner corner highlighter, a brow highlighter, a base, a lot. So it's going to brighten up everything and also be that highlighting color all at once. So we have that. And if you see I'm going like down underneath my eye a little bit, that's mostly putting the product in the inner corner just because I like that a little brighter usually, since I don't really have a whole lot of room in between my lash line and my brow. I really like to make sure that everything is highlighted and as bright as possible. So as you can see, that like brightened up my eyes a lot. It also washed me out a lot. So now we're gonna use this same brush and we're gonna go on with the second color right here. So this is gonna be over the same area again, except on the lid only. It's not gonna go up to the brow. So this is gonna be the beginning of like the transition colors in between the crease and what's gonna be on my lid. Now there's not a huge difference that you can see on camera, but as you see, it took away a lot of the white, a lot of the washing out, and added just like a natural kind of crease. You could see my crease, obviously. I mean, you could see it without the makeup, but it's a little more defined now because we have that darker color in there. So now we're going to go in with the next darkest color, and I'm going to use, again, the same brush. Now, if you want to use the same brush for multiple eyeshadows, you can clean it in between, or if you're doing the same color scheme, like I'm doing all browns, what I like to do is move from lightest to darkest, so that if I am doing a really dark look and I want to add a highlight, I don't put the dark on first and then go to put the light on and it's moving the dark where I don't want it. So definitely move in gradient from light to dark. If you're going to be using the same brush, that's totally okay. So now I'm going to go in and use this next color, third one down. Told you we were using the whole thing. Told you. So this is going to go on the outer part of the lid, just by the lash line. So as you can see, I have it just by the lash line. It's not up in the crease at all. On the outer corner on the lash line. So we see that? I wish you guys had the lighting on this freaking camera that I have in my bathroom. Alright, so we're going to go back in and darken it up a little bit. Now it's really important to have transition colors in between your light and your dark, so it doesn't look like you just slapped a color on. So you see it's starting to get a little darker. So now we're going to go in with the next color. So this actually has a little bit of a red bronze to it. This is going to be really, really pretty, especially if you have green or blue eyes. It's going to pop your eyes like crazy. I have hazel sometimes. I don't know what they are today. Hazel, yeah. So my eyes are going to pop a lot more once I put this on. This is going to be just in the outer corner, and again, I'm using the same brush. So again, with the color gradient, just making sure that you're going lightest to darkest, always tapping off the excess, because, well, me personally, I already did my face, so I don't want the dark all over my face. Alright, so super brown right now, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the dome brush. This is from Sigma, it's the E40, and we're going to take away a lot of what's on the lid. Now, you're just going to be left with what's in the crease, and we're going to soften that up a lot too. But this is just to kind of leave traces of what we applied on the lid to give it that gradient factor to look like it's fading into it. So now that we have all of that, we're going to go in and use the darkest color on here, and this is going to be just in the outer crease, right in that area. And I'm going to use another Sigma brush. It's the E70. It's an angled shading brush. I really like this for the crease. It works really, really well. So we're just going to dip that in there. So it is by all means 100% okay to go back over everything again and add more product or take more product away. That's why I love this blending brush, because it really, really just softens everything up. And the product will still be there and you'll still see it on my eyes, but it's not going to be as dramatic, as dark or dark as it was. So now that we have the shadow on, we're going to go in with a liner. And I'm just going to use a cream liner. This is from Sephora. So it's from Sephora collection. It's just a black, it's a waterproof cream liner. And I'm going to use my Sephora cream liner brush. It is the Eyeliner Gel 26 Pro Gel Liner Brush. And I like this because it has the point and then it goes flat, so you can kind of maneuver it around the eye to get the shape that you're looking for. So I'm just going to dip this in here. Alright, so now that I have both liner on both sides, I'm going to add mascara. The mascara I'm going to use is the MAC Zoom Lash. I love this mascara. It's really great for lengthening and volumizing. Alright, so now that I have my mascara on, I'm going to do my brows. I love doing brows. They're like my favorite part of my face. I don't know why, but they are. So for my brows, I'm going to use the Dior Universal... What did I get on my scarf? It's like eyeshadow. It's gross.
What did I get on my scarf? It's like eyeshadow. It's gross.
Alright, so I'm going to use the Universal Brow Styler by Dior, and I love this. It actually works with the pH level of your skin and your hairs to give an accurate color, so anyone can use this one pencil and it self-adjusts. Done! So now I'm going to go in and use bronzer and blush and stuff like that to contour and highlight. So the bronzer I'm going to use is by Mark. And I like this because it's multicolored, so it kind of gives a multi-dimensional look, I guess. So I'm going to take my angled contour brush, dip it in there just a little bit, and I'm going to use this at the temples and just kind of press it on right underneath my cheekbone. So this is going to pop out the cheekbone, okay? And then I'm just going to blend it up into my temple right next to my ear and then under the cheekbone. So I don't know if you can see the difference, but it's definitely popped out a lot more. Now you want to make sure that you blend this, but don't over blend it, keeping most of the color towards the back. And the same thing on the other side. As you can see, I just patted it on. Now this bronzer is a little more orange, but it works with the blush that I'm going to use. and I actually carry it all the way up into the outer corner of my forehead on both sides. So it just gives a lot of definition and warmth to my face. So now I'm going to go back over with another bronzer, and I'm going to use the Bare Minerals. This is the High Dive. This is a darker, more brown. So again, using multiple colors is going to give you, you know, a different look. And I really, really like this bronzer. Probably way too much. Now that I have my bronzers on, I'm going to go in and contour the sides of my nose. So I'm going to use the same bronzer and just down the side of my nose. And down this side. And I like to add a little bit down under here just to kind of warm up my face a little bit. So that's my contour, and now I'm going to go in with blush, and then I'm going to set everything. I have this blush palette by Tarina Tarantino, and I really, really like it. I'm going to be using this color up here. It's kind of like a peachy color, and I am going to be using a stippling brush just because I like the way it looks when this is on. So we're just going to use a little bit of this right on the cheekbone and blend it back into my contour so that it kind of fades as one color, so it's not just blush in one area and bronzer in another, if that makes any sense. Blending back into the contour. Some people even carry their blush all the way up. Sometimes I'll fade it up there, but I usually don't like to carry it all the way up there. A good starting point for blush is you want to start like 2 fingers away from your nose. That's where you're like naturally prone. And then I like to put a little bit around my lips and down the center of my nose, just because it adds a little more color. So as you can see, my face is a lot more warm now. It doesn't look so pasty. And I have eyes on. So now we're going to go ahead and set everything. And what I'm going to use is the Makeup Forever Micro HD Setting Powder. I love this stuff. It's awesome. So here it is. Since it is micro setting powder, it works really, really well in pictures. It's not going to give you any flashback or anything like that. And it will definitely last all day. It's going to smooth out the surface of your skin, so cover any like pores and stuff like that. And I'm going to be using an older Sephora brush again. It's just like a big powder brush, and I really like using this for my setting powder because I can beat my face with it. So I put some into the cap. You really don't need a whole lot. You probably can't even see that. Great. So you're just going to stir the brush around. Everyone sees this and they're like, oh my god, it's white. That's going to leave a white cast on my face. There are so many people that use way too much of this. If you use too much, yes, it's going to leave a white cast on your face. It's a setting powder. It's not a foundation powder. It's meant to be on very, very sheer. So I even shook out a lot of it. Now I'm just going to press this into my skin. And there's my setting powder. So now I'm going to give myself a quick lip, and I will be right back. Alright, so berry-ish lips are really, really in for winter time right now. So what I used was a MAC lipstick in Twig. I really, really like this. It's like kind of like a natural berry, I guess. It just works really, really well with the color of my lips. And then for my gloss, I used a Forever 21 Love and Beauty lip gloss in Coral. This doesn't have a whole lot of color. As you can see, it's very berry. But it definitely adds a little bit of gloss to where it's nice and natural looking. So yeah, here is my entire look. I hope you guys like it, and if you want to see more tutorials, or if you guys want to see me do any more looks, or if you have any questions about this particular look, let me know, and I will definitely get back to you guys. Until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye. And I just want to introduce you guys to my puppy. Her name is Naomi. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Look, it's a puppy. Oh my god. So her name is Naomi. She is a Chiweenie. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a Chihuahua and a Wiener Dog mix. This is as big as she's gonna get. But she is about 15 weeks old now. Um, and she's my baby girl, and I love her so much, and she's so cute, even though she shakes all the time and freaks out and likes to rub her butt across the carpet and all kinds of other awesome stuff. But that's my doggy, and we'll see you guys next time. Can you say bye? Can you say bye? Can you say bye? Bye!